Welcome to this demonstration of K2.NET BlackPearl and its integration into the MOS environment. What we're looking at here is a SharePoint site. Inside there we've got the K2.NET task list, and what we can see is that I've got two tasks that I need to do. What I'll do here is just go to my leave request and submit a new leave request. As you can see, we're using Infopath form server to be able to do this. So I'm Tom. I'll be submitting myself a good 2 weeks of leave. While I'm on leave, I will use the K2.NET out of office component that will automatically redirect any tasks that are allocated to me to Nick. Submit this form. Form gets submitted, and when I go back into my and have a look at my task list, what I can see there is that I've got a new task for Tom that needs to be completed. From this task list, I can do a number of things. I can have a look that I've got 3 people that I need to approve. I can click on these multiple people and go and approve or decline a task from my task list. I can also click on any one of these tasks and collaborate on that task. What that'll do is it'll bring me back information about who the originator of the process was and any of the active participants in the process. I can go to any one of these participants and be able to collaborate with them. So if Live Communication Server was installed on this machine, I'll be able to send them instant messages and be able to interact with them directly. So if I close that, another task delivery method is a gadget that we have with inside of Vista. So here, this is my Vista environment, K2 worklist, and I've got Tom's leave request inside of my gadget. So if I click on Tom over there, we open up our Infopath form server. And from this environment here, I've got a manager decision, and I can approve or decline that person's leave. Fun. So as soon as I click on that, we'll see my K2 worklist update. So there we go. We can see that the K2 worklist, Tom's now been removed because that task has been completed. If I go back into this environment and I'll just refresh that page, we will see Tom no longer, there's no longer a task for Tom's leave approval. What we've also done is update the SharePoint site to say that the leave has been approved and that Tom's tasks are going to be delegated to Nick Rich. How we built this workflow was using K2.NET BlackPearl integration and its integration inside of Visual Studio.NET. This is our Visual Studio.NET environment, and from inside of here, we are taking advantage of Windows Communication Foundation, and Windows Workflow Foundation. This is our leave request process that I just ran through now. What I can do, I can actually go and modify this process. So if when the process started, we want to make a modification and we want to send a, let's say, an email to whoever started the process to say that the process has started. So I can go and drag and drop events and items onto my canvas. What I can also do is use a scratch pad, and at this point in time I want to send an email, so I could just type, I could just write an M for mail. That then starts up a K2.NET mail wizard, helps me guide through being able to send an email, for instance, and inside here I can just send that to the originator of the process, the subject, and different details. I can actually pull out information from my process and just be able to drag and drop that onto the screen. Your process has started, and finish that off. I can then connect that to the beginning just by drawing a line from there to there, and then when the process, next time I deploy this process, we'll then have an email event. This email event is also built on top of Windows Workflow Foundation. So if I right click on that and have a look at what the code is behind this email event, and what we can see there is Windows Workflow Foundation schedule behind the scenes. And obviously we can drill further down into that and have a look at the code level, be able to make modifications at all these levels. We have a number of different views on this process as well. So I can have a look at a swim lane and I can see my process from a swim lane view. I've just added that feedback activity. Over here I can call it feedback and just specify, let's say, it's got to do with the originator, so I can drag and drop that into there. I can also have a look at a documentation view, and what that automatically does is creates documentation for me. And this works backwards as well. So if I wanted to change that feedback, and we can set to originator, if I move back to my views, we can see that that has actually taken place and updated backwards throughout the process. What we're also able to do is from within our SharePoint environment, we've got the ability to actually create workflows in this environment itself and be able to bring our business users into the workflow development lifecycle. So if I look at my technical document library over here, and inside of this, I've got a K2.NET workflows. If I click on this one, I can go in and have a look at what workflows are bounded to this document library, K2.NET workflows. If I click on the technical approval workflow, we then have a view of a graphical web designer where we can then go and design and create these processes. So just to give you an example of how that works, if I just remove some of these, and we want to do an approval rejection, I just drag that onto the screen, start to draw manager approval, for instance, and I can then start to drag and drop things onto the screen from this environment and be able to deploy and run this from this environment, as well as be able to open up this workflow from within the rich environment of Visual Studio 2005 and be able to extend it further if need be. And I'll demonstrate to you some of the K2.NET integration into Word, for instance. What I'm going to do now is just start up a new, just create a new Word document. This is a new Word document, and I will save this document back into our SharePoint document library. And I'll go and then start a workflow against this document. So there we've got K2.NET workflows integrated into this environment as well. If I click on the document approval, and I can then just go and start this workflow. Submit. Then passes that workflow over to K2.NET BlackPearl, and the workflow then gets started. Go to my environment, I can see there we've got a new document for approval, which I can then decline, approve, or rework depending on what my process has been defined out to do. I can also then view that task from our Vista environment as well, and from here I can approve that document directly from within Word itself. So I'll open up on that task. I'll open up the document inside of Word, and we'll have some integration into the Word business bar. So from within here I can see our Word document as well as if there's a workflow task. If I edit that task, we can then direct to a web page or open up an info path form directly from within inside of Word where they can then approve or reject or action a task. What they've got is a list of action, we'll approve, reject, or rework, and we'll just let them approve that for now. I can add some more comments inside there. We'll just submit that off. You should then see our task disappear. And if I go back into our SharePoint environment, what we've then done is updated and moved that document into a record. So I go into my unclassified records,